When building a brand, most people are told to niche down. I even mentioned the importance of having a niche in the previous video I made. Here's the key in where things get interesting. In most cases, you should have multiple layers to your brand. After all, the key to start a business or personal brand is to stand out from others who are also in the market. Although you can't and you shouldn't be for everyone, you can have multiple things for one audience as long as there are commonalities in your brand. I call this the Joe Rogan Effect. Joe Rogan's podcast is the #1 podcast around the world with millions of listeners across multiple platforms. But here's a secret. His success comes from combining passions, not sticking to a single niche. Joe Rogan doesn't just limit his content to one single niche, instead he combines several passions into one interest. For example, martial arts. His background as a fighter and commentator attracts UFC fans. Comedy. His experience as a stand-up comedian draws fans of humor. Psychedelics. His discussion on alternative therapies brings in the curious and open-minded. Intellectual curiosity. Guests like Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson attract thinkers and academics. Result? A podcast that appeals to a broader audience but still feels cohesive because it's rooted in his authentic personality. This approach works because people today are eager to connect on a deeper level. Sharing who you are and what you stand for helps build that connection. When these passions align under one theme, you can expand your audience. This also doesn't just make you interesting and shows a depth of character and personality, but it truly has an impactful effect on your audience. Passion is infectious and it pushes people to try new things and expand their own horizons. The Renaissance was a time period from the late 14th to 17th century, marked by an explosion of ideas, creativity, and innovation that reshaped Europe. This rebirth of knowledge was inspired by a renewed focus on human achievement and potential. Fueled by the rediscovery of classical texts from ancient Greece and Rome, the invention of the printing press, and the support of wealthy patrons. Some of the most iconic figures of the time, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Galileo, embodied the Renaissance ideal by mastering multiple disciplines, including art, science, engineering, and philosophy, and striving for excellence in everything they pursued. These individuals didn't just excel in their crafts, they effectively marketed themselves through their work, relationships, and reputations. By showcasing their skills to influential patrons, creating work that resonated across multiple fields, they built personal brands that made them stand out. Their art, inventions, and writings acted as portfolios, attracting opportunities and ensuring their legacies endured for centuries. This approach gave rise to the term Renaissance man. This term describes someone whose skills and interests span a variety of areas, driven by a deep passion for learning and creating. These Renaissance men weren't confined to one field. They showed us the power of pursuing diverse interests, driven by passion and curiosity. Today, this is just as relevant. Combining your passions into a cohesive personal or professional brand isn't a distraction. It's a superpower. Start with your passions. The first step is to identify 3 to 4 areas you're truly passionate about or knowledgeable in. These are the subjects that light you up, that you could talk about endlessly. Think about what you naturally gravitate towards. For example, business, branding, martial arts, self-improvement. Next, imagine a Venn diagram where each of your passions is a circle: business, branding, martial arts, and self-improvement. The areas where these circles overlap is where the magic happens. This is where your unique voice and perspective comes to life. At the center of the Venn diagram is an overlapping theme, the core idea that really combines all of your passions together into one single cohesive message. For example, a pursuit of growth and achievement and inspiring others through action. Self-improvement acts as the meta theme because growth is essentially in every area. In business, achieving success requires constant learning and adapting. In branding, the timeless principle of know thyself, attributed to Socrates, reminds us that authentic branding begins with self-awareness. Knowing who you are and what you stand for allows you to create a brand that resonates deeply with your audience. In martial arts, growth comes through discipline and resilience, both physically and mentally. Martial arts exemplifies the process of self-improvement and mastery. This unifying theme reflects how self-improvement drives progress and achievement across all these passions, creating a framework that ties them all together into one cohesive message. This theme becomes the foundation of everything you do. It's what gives your content direction and makes it feel cohesive. One way to effectively include multiple themes in your brand is by establishing a hierarchy. If your themes aren't equally relevant, prioritize 1 to 2 themes that serve as the foundation of your content, adding depth and variety without overshadowing your core focus. For example, you could use business and branding as your main themes, with martial arts and self-improvement as complementary elements that showcase your personality and unique perspective. While combining multiple passions into a cohesive brand is powerful, there are some pitfalls to watch for. Avoiding these will keep your message clear, authentic, and effective. Being too broad. Trying to cover too many unrelated topics can confuse your audience and dilute the message. Focus on complementary niches that naturally overlap and support your overarching theme. Lacking authenticity. Your audience connects with the real you, not a persona trying to appeal to everyone. Stay true to your passions and values. Don't chase trends or topics that don't resonate with you. Neglecting cohesion. Without a unifying theme, your brand can feel scattered. Always tie your content back to your core message, ensuring everything aligns with your overarching theme. Ignoring your audience's needs. It's easy to focus on what excites you, but always consider how your content can serve your audience. Ask yourself, how does this help inspire them or provide value? So here's a quick recap of everything I covered in this video. Choosing a niche is important for connecting with your audience, but combining complementary niches allows you diversity while maintaining focus. The Joe Rogan Effect. Joe Rogan's success lies in blending his passions, martial arts, comedy, psychedelics, and intellectual curiosity, into one cohesive platform. This approach appeals to a diverse audience without losing authenticity. The origin of the concept, the Renaissance Man. The Renaissance taught us that mastering multiple disciplines and pursuing diverse interests not only expands your reach, but also shows depth, passion, and uniqueness. Identify 3 to 4 passions, find their overlap, and define the overarching theme. Avoid being too broad, inauthentic, and lacking cohesion. So whether you're building a personal or business brand, remember this: you don't have to fit into one box. Find the overlap of your passions, create your core theme, and let your unique voice shine through. My goal with this channel is to release a video every week, sharing insights from my professional experience, helping some of my clients build personal brands and marketing businesses for over half a decade now. If there are any themes or specific topics you'd like me to dive into, feel free to leave them in the comments below. See you on the next one.